What's up guys, I'm Kevin Kwan from Taste of Asian Food. Now what is ondeh ondeh? It is a sweet delicacy with palm sugar wrapped within a glutinous rice flour dough and coated with salted grated coconuts. Ondeh, which means little balls in Malay, is a popular dessert among the Malays and the Baba Nyonya. It is called Clapton in Indonesia. And there are a few steps to make ondeh ondeh. So I will break it down into sections and highlight some of the finer points you may want to take note. Let's get into the details. First, let's start by preparing the pandan leaves. Cut them into short sections. Place them in a food processor or blender and add some water. I use about 40 grams of pandan leaves from 5 large leaves and add a cup of water to blend the leaves until they become a thick suspension. Pour the pandan suspension through a cloth bag. Then squeeze out as much extract as possible. Next, let's prepare the glutinous rice dough. The outer layer of the ondeh ondeh is made with glutinous rice flour dough. So please ensure that it is glutinous rice flour, not the ordinary rice flour. I've also added 2 tablespoons of tapioca flour to make it less sticky and easier to handle. I also add a tablespoon of vegetable oil to the dough while kneading. Then add the pandan extract slowly and knead it to form a dough. The amount of pandan extract is crucial because if the dough is too dry, it will crack while wrapping. On the contrary, it is too sticky to handle if there is too much extract added. The final result should look like plasticine with a shiny surface. Please refer to the recipe in the description below the video. The next step is to prepare the palm sugar. Palm sugar is sold in various forms, and the one that I have are round cylinder blocks. You can either cut or shave it so that it becomes small granules. I suggest pounding the palm sugar with mortar and pestle as it can be too hard and take too long to melt inside the ondeh ondeh while boiling. The goal is to have the molten palm sugar inside the ondeh ondeh, not the unmelted sugar pieces. I also add a small amount of caster sugar, which is optional. You also need some grated coconut. I'm fortunate to get the best grated coconut from the market near me. It may not be the case for everyone, so you may likely use desiccated coconut as a substitute. The grated coconut is usually added with some salt to make it slightly salty, which contrasts the sweetness from the palm sugar. You can use the freshly grated coconut directly if the ondeh ondeh is served in the next few hours. However, if you intend to keep it longer, it is best to steam the grated coconut for about 5 minutes to kill any possible germs so that it can last longer. Now let's wrap the ondeh ondeh. Ondeh ondeh is a bite-sized dessert, which means it should not be too big. I use about 12 grams of the dough to wrap about 3 grams of the sugar. Now of course, you can use more sugar, but it can be a little challenging to wrap. Wrapping the palm sugar inside the dough is the only part that is a little tricky in this recipe. However, it is quite forgiving because the dough is malleable and it's like plasticine. The goal is to seal all the sugar inside the dough, and you can then roll the dough with your palm to shape it into a ball. Now we cook the ondeh ondeh. Simply boil a pot of water and put the ondeh ondeh into the water. Now first, you should use low-medium heat to boil the onde onde. Initially, all the onde onde will sink to the bottom. You should stir them lightly to prevent them from sticking to the bottom. It will take about 4 to 5 minutes to cook the dough, and that's when they will start to float to the surface. At this point, the sugar inside the onde onde ball is still not melted yet. Therefore, you need to cook it further, as the unmelted sugar granules inside doesn't taste good. Since the actual time required depends on the size of the onde onde and the palm sugar, I would suggest dropping 1 or 2 onde onde into the water to test how long it takes the sugar to melt before cooking the rest. When the onde onde are cooked, remove them with a slotted spoon and transfer them immediately into a bed of grated coconuts. The grated coconut sticks better when it is hot. Now it's ready to serve. That's how to make onde onde. Fun to make, easy to make, and I hope you enjoyed it. So please subscribe, tap the notification bell, and click the like button if you like this video. Finally, don't forget to share with your friends and family on social media. That's all for now, and I'll see you again in another video soon. Thanks for watching and bye for now.